Hi, my name is Rose Byrne, and I feel delighted about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
Oh, that's nice.
Come on.
That makes me happy.
We need joy. We need joy in the world.
Oh, you're doing it because you need to.
Yeah.
You don't really feel... It's a forced joy. It's a forced delight. I see what it is.
How do I feel? I feel delighted.
Yeah, there
and
you do.
let's be delighted about things.
Hey there, and welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I'm Conan. We got Sona in the house.
Yep.
Matt Gourley and Sona.
Mm-hmm.
It is almost your birthday.
It's time.
Yeah. Now, you take your birthday.
happening.
You take your birthday more seriously than anyone I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
What is it about you and your birthday?
I take this entire month as an excuse to see the people I haven't seen in a really long time. And so I celebrate all month long. Every dinner, every event that happens, I feel like is about me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be a Libra thing. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's a narcissist thing.
Oh,
It's a Sona thing.
It's a Sona thing.
maybe.
Do you demand gifts from all those meetings?
No,
Oh, that's
I don't.
nice.
It's not like, it is a milestone birthday. It is 43.
The big 4-3.
It's a big milestone. So maybe, no, but nobody gives me gifts. It's not like we're giving gifts to each other. It's just like, let's do a dinner. And then we just go to dinner. And I
That's
see
nice.
people from all different walks of life.
Do you
it's fun.
expect multiple presents over the month? Or do you think you just get presents on the day?
I don't get any presents. I
What?
don't want
What do you mean?
presents.
You don't get
I
presents
also
on your
just
birthday?
don't like getting a lot of stuff. This is really sad. I lost my stuff. And so I'm really aware of all the stuff I'm accumulating now.
In the fire, you lost a lot.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just don't want just stuff anymore. I just want things I need. So I'm very particular about it. But I do love going to eat, and I do love celebrating my birthday.
So you're putting it out there that you don't want... Because I was going to get you some really nice things.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. Okay.
I
No, we'll
was
do
too.
that.
No.
Wait,
Matt
how?
Matt and I had lists of beautiful baubles and treasures we were going to give you.
That's right.
But those apparently are out now. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I guess I'll just keep this hand signed by Cher leather bustier from the video Believe.
Yeah.
You just have that?
I do. I bought it for myself, but I was going to give it to you.
Oh, were you
Yeah.
really? I did lose my share drawing.
And
in my house.
I guess I'll just hang on to this bust of Dr. Kevorkian that's made out of dried
Come on.
dried hummus.
Why?
Dried hummus.
Wait, did you say hummus?
Hummus.
Oh my God.
You love it when I say it that way, don't
I
you?
know,
Hummus.
it's cool.
You should let me know what are some things that you need, because I would happily get you something that you really need.
Well, things I need are kind of lame. Like, I just realized I don't have a tray,
A tray.
like
What do you-
for
what
my
time-
kitchen to
Oh, yeah.
take things.
I don't understand what you need. Is
A
there a
serving
drive-in
tray.
window at your house?
It's a buffet. You guys
Yeah.
always eat from a buffet?
Yeah. Can I get some extra ketchup packets? Yes.
Could you just hand
No,
me...
why do you need I'm seriously, why do you need a tray? What do you need a tray
In
for?
case I have a lot of stuff I have to transport from the kitchen to another room, you need a tray.
Who's eating in another room?
Do you guys have sneeze guards in your kitchen? Yeah.
Wait a minute,
Not
it
like
says
a
here, I
kitchen
just looked up
tray.
your address. It's a Sizzler. You live at a Sizzler now.
I wish I lived at a Sizzler.
So wait a minute. So
No,
describe
the
to me.
Sizzler burned down. She lives in a soup plantation.
She
I love soup plantation.
she needs to defend how you have a tray that takes things from one room to
Why
another.
Are you
That's
acting
very
like
normal.
This is
What
Is
weird.
it? Never has Liza ever come to me with food on a tray.
That's not
when I'm in
true.
another room. It is true.
It is a normal thing to have.
When
is
you
a tray.
watch TV, you put snacks and a little drink on a tray and
on
stuff.
a tray, you have a
Yeah.
tray. You
Oh,
bring
Liza
the
won't
things
let
to
that
the
happen
tray.
in our house. You can't eat over there.
Oh.
Some crumbs will get... No.
But you're an awful eater, so that makes sense. I would not allow you to eat anywhere in my
I am...
vicinity.
I've
and
heard
this
you're
is-
ravenous, but are you messy as well?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Well, I've been called the wood chipper. So what happens is you feed food towards my gaping maw, and then crumbs shoot out. Remember when Cookie Monster would eat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He couldn't, because there's no real throat to Cookie
Yeah.
Monster.
What?
It just... there's no throat.
What?
You know, Cookie Monster just has these flaps.
He's a puppet. He's
Yeah.
not real.
Yeah.
There's no mouth hole. It's just flat there.
Say
Yes.
mouth hole.
That's ridiculous.
He's
Yeah.
not real. You know, he's
That's
just a
not
puppet.
true.
Yeah.
That's just not true.
I get it. I get why
Yeah.
Eliza would. The trays. That's a normal thing that a lot
Very
of houses
normal.
have. Your house for sure has a tray.
We probably
When
have
Liza
5
serves
trays.
me food, she is wearing a hazmat suit. And she's wearing you know what she's often wearing is one of those deep sea diving uniforms from the 1920s. And she'll come to me and she'll say, here is, and I can just hear an echo, here is your tomato soup. And then I go, and then it's just a Jackson Pollock all over the walls.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, stuff just goes flying.
Good.
That's why we don't have a tray in our house.
You do have a tray. For sure you have a tray. You probably just
But
never
I'm thinking of a
have
very
used it.
small tray that just brings out some grapes and a little bit of cheese over if a guest is here. We would have
Yes.
that, but you're talking about a big tray?
No, I think when I'm saying tray, you're thinking of like cafeteria trays.
Mhm.
No, I'm talking about like a serving tray.
So you want a tray, and what else do you want?
I only got to tray.
Hey,
What?
That's as
that
far
must be
as
a
I-
pretty good life. If all you need is a
All
tray.
you need is a tray?
I know I need a lot more stuff. I need a lot more stuff. But this is one of the things that literally just a few minutes ago, because this office has like 6 trays. And I was noticing one of
Oh,
them.
she's eyeing your tray,
I
boss.
know.
You better look out.
They might disappear. I'm just gonna say I might just take whatever I need from here. It's not the first time I've like
Does your
taken
house,
things.
does your new place, your new abode have stairs?
Yeah.
Do you need a stair chair that goes up the stairs?
I don't need it, but I'd like
Would
one.
you use it if you had one?
Yeah.
I think those are so cool.
Aren't
Those
they
are
so
cool.
cool?
Yeah.
Like, well, I guess I'll go upstairs now, and you
Yeah.
sit down and you actually put a seatbelt on, and then
Yeah.
and it's much slower.
Yeah.
And you don't. I think the fact that you don't need one is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But you still have one, and then you could put the tray on your lap, and you could eat like you're on an airplane.
Because that's how slow it is going up. You could finish a meal.
Yeah, you could have a whole
Yeah.
turkey dinner, and slowly Tack is going up the stairs at slower than a tortoise.
Yeah.
And it's really fun too to put a tortoise on a stair chair.
Okay.
And
Why?
watch them-
But the tortoise is already slow and it's already going up. It's just a slow thing on a slow thing.
Yeah, it's really funny.
And
Slow
then you
thing on a
just
slow
let a
thing is,
rabbit go up the stairs on
Yeah.
its own.
but
And see
the
who
rabbit's
wins?
got a
Yeah.
cane.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went too far. My thing is
I
that
like a stair chair. Can you get me a stair chair?
I probably could, but I don't think I will.
Well, can you just be?
I'll
it's
get you a tray.
classy.
I'll get you a tray.
Okay.
Do you want a stair chair? in your
Yeah,
house? You're
I'd
putting a
love one.
second floor in your house, aren't you?
I would love to.
You haven't put it on yet?
Give me some time.
It takes a long time to do that.
You know what would be great is I'll build you a staircase and put a stair chair in, even though you don't have a second floor.
And it just
it'd be funny
bangs
when people
themselves.
smash their head on the. Ah! And then just blood rushes down the staircase, and your guest is screaming in
I
pain.
swear there's a second floor there yesterday.
or do an elevator.
Yeah, I
But
got.
it
That's
doesn't
funny. We
go
just
to
got
a
a thing in the
second
mail.
floor.
We got junk mail for something called like a Slift,
What's this?
and it's
Slift?
like an easy, like custom prefab. Not custom. It's like a prefab elevator that you can put in your house.
Wait a minute.
Also-
wait a minute. This is fantastic.
I
We
want
could
an
get a
elevator.
Slift.
Yes,
Wait a minute.
I think it's.
We
called
need one
Slift.
here. Can I say something?
Can you Google? Is it called Slift?
Slift.
Why are we
that
giving-
sounds disgusting, by the way.
No,
It's a band.
It's a what?
a band.
So it's not called Slift. You sick pervert. You're like, here's something I want to get. It's called Slift.
Oh, that's right. It was a nudie mag we got in the
But
mail.
wait a minute. This is a question for Adam, but this is our building here. We own this building at Larchmont. It is Team Coco global headquarters. We should have an elevator.
Oh,
and
man.
I
Yeah.
want,
Love that
and,
idea.
and you know what I want? I want one that we have 3 floors in this building, and it should be, I like the idea that it's prefab. It's something that someone comes in, it's installed within a day.
Yeah.
Because I know it's not going to be safe, and that's funny.
Yeah.
We also need fire poles.
What?
I think it's one or the other.
Yeah, it's one of the other, and I say elevator.
Okay,
What's it called there, Eduardo?
Stiltz. That's it.
Still.
With
How'd
a
you get-
Z. With a Z.
And
Yeah.
Can we have an operator?
But how? I don't understand. I've never heard of. Look at that. Oh my God! It looks like very Star Trek, doesn't it?
It looks like you go in there and you get some kind of future medical thing done to you. Like from
Oh no! It's a chamber. You get into
Yeah.
this chamber, and how do they install that?
that's
Oh,
where
I-
Spock dies.
But he dies of boredom because it's going so slowly. Wait a minute. Do you think we could get this installed?
I think it's a great idea.
I'll put up the funding for it.
I think we should look into it for real. I think it's
I would
really
love
good
it.
idea.
Oh, look, there's a little animated
It would make the
part
building more accessible.
on stilts.
Yeah, it would make the building more accessible. That's
Yeah.
true. It's
Yeah.
good. It's a good thing to do.
Oh, and it'd be great if it made a lot of noise so that when we were recording the podcast,
It should come up in this
Ted
room.
and Ted Danson comes in to get ready for his podcast. And of course, he's no spring chicken. He'll get on the stilts and then, and we can hear it on our podcast. And I'm like, Ted!
I'm sorry, but Slift makes more sense than Stiltz.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get, look at this.
It's quiet.
It's quiet, and there's a cartoon of a guy and his dog sleeping so that he can sleep on a couch while his wife quietly goes in an inner tube and sails up.
Oh, it's got a remote control. What? So you could put someone in it and
Yeah.
control
Oh,
what
look,
they
he's
do?
having this lazy shit is having his luggage sent down in an elevator, and he's saying, okay, all right,
that
this is a
makes
handicapped person or handicapable, but this is a person who should use this. But can we go back to the guy saying, someone put my luggage in the elevator and send it down to me in our 2-room house?
I do think you need to have an old school guy with a hat as the elevator operator.
David Hopping
yes,
is on
with
the
a bell
is on
cap?
this. Let's just call it a Slift.
Okay, a Slift.
And Stiltz, get your act together and change the name. David Hopping will be on it, and he'll be wearing again 1930 elevator operator.
And when he
costume.
arrives at this floor, he goes like, cosmetics, notions, unmentionables.
Unmentionables.
We don't do any
This is
of that.
fantastic because he doesn't do anything. When David does a lot, but then whenever we're all here, he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So he could be riding up and down the elevator doing bits.
Yeah.
We have to get this. We need to immediately find out how much this costs. The company's called Stiltz, and I'm not doing an ad for them because I wish their name was Slitz.
Slift.
I say Slitz.
Slitz?
And guess what? That's the even better name.
Slitz is like a strip club, kind of.
Trust me. Yeah, and you know what? Slitz should have an
Slitz.
elevator.
Join the 100th of a mile club.
Yeah. Listen,
Slitz.
Stiltz, you have 24 hours to change your name to Slitz. I want this. I've never wanted anything this
Get it?
badly.
Let's do it. Maybe
I've never
they'll
wanted
give us
anything.
one for free.
I
mean, we've
doubt
done
it.
a lot of promotion for them. Come on, listen up, Slitz.
Yeah.
Slitz.
Knee, formerly known as Stiltz.
Stiltz knee, Slitz knee Stiltz.
Yeah. You may know her as Stiltz, but we call her Slitz. I've got to have it. I've got to have it, and I will spare no expense. We're going to sawn a hole in this joint, and we're running that thing up and down.
Yeah.
And David Hopping's going to get a uniform, and we're going to
Yes.
shoot videos, and everyone's going to love us again.
Okay.
All right, let's
it.
wrap this up. My guest today stars in, this is very exciting for me to talk about, the new movie, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, alongside, well, another familiar face you might know. And this is a project that's very near and dear to my heart. And I absolutely adore our guest today. I don't know. Just nothing more I can say. I'm thrilled she's here with us. Rose Byrne, welcome. I'm thrilled you're here on the podcast. You came on the late night show a couple of times, and I never really got to talk to you. And we've had this incredible experience together working on a movie. I had never done anything remotely like that. And everything I thought about you came true and was verified a million times over, just in terms of like your, I know you to be this incredible actress and this very funny person who can do any kind of performance. And then you show up and you were one of my favorite people of all time, seriously. And so
that's so sweet.
that was a blessing. And now I want to take you down. I want to.
Today's the day.
Today's the day. You
Real
claim you're from Australia.
Exactly.
But
Real
I
talk.
found out San Diego is where you were born. To Patricia
Finally.
and Lorenzo Bobkick.
Finally.
Finally. You can come clean.
Right? This is exciting.
We'll talk about the film in just a bit.
Yeah.
I just wanted to start with your trajectory. You come from this family. You grew up just outside Sydney,
Like inner city suburb, like 20 minutes from the city,
Yeah.
Balmain.
Balmain, and you're one of 4.
Youngest of 4.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like a policeman now getting information. Says here, your eyes are hazel. You're so innately funny, and I've seen this up close and in person, that I'm thinking that had to present itself when you were a kid. Did you know you were funny when you were just with in your family?
I mean, the youngest thing of like you're goofy, maybe like trying to get attention and being a little bit goofy. And my mother says I liked the attention, but I was also quite shy. So one of those performers too that's a little bit shy, but a bit of a ham. A little bit of a ham.
But I understand how those things go together.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
you
was
can
one of
relate.
6,
Yeah.
and no one would accuse me of, I mean, I was a ham and an extrovert, but I also had this other side, which was not, I had both. Hey, everybody, look at me. Oh my God, don't look at me. I don't know what that was.
I relate to that.
I grew up in that situation. And you knew there were certain comedic performances you saw growing up.
Yes.
And you thought
Yes.
that. And who is
Yes.
that? Who are we talking
Well,
about?
John Cleese in Fawlty Towers. That was a show that my family, one of the few shows that we all gathered around to watch. And it was like, I don't know how big it was here in the States.
Fawlty Towers
Yeah,
was,
was it
I mean, it
over-
wasn't like Friends, but it was, it played, I mean, the first times I saw it, I think PBS
Yeah,
was
it
showing
would only
it.
show on
Okay.
PBS.
Yeah.
Until cable came around.
Yeah,
Right,
and
yeah.
but I would
Yeah.
see it, and what drew me to that performance, and I'm guessing you might be the same, is that
Yeah.
John Cleese is verbally very funny and kind of pitch perfect, but then
so true.
but
Brilliant,
then
yes.
he can use his body in the
Which
funniest.
is not dissimilar to you, actually. Now that you have the same physique, it's so tall,
Yeah.
and like the legs, and just the innately comic with, and just some brilliant physical comedy sequences from that show that I can recall. Yeah,
I mean, he could do it both. And I always just thought, and I know Peter Sellers to me was the same kind of thing as someone who could, deliver verbally the perfect performance just in the face, but then if called to, could be very physically hilarious. And what
Yes,
about,
yeah.
what women were you watching where you thought, that person's doing something I love?
There's a great show called Kath and Kim from Australia
Yeah,
with these
yeah.
2 brilliant comedians, Jane Turner and Gina Riley, I believe.
yeah.
And they were brilliant. They were fantastic. Hysterical. It was a very popular show in Australia, sort
Yeah.
of satire about these 2 women. And then also I loved Ab Fab.
Yep.
I loved them from that. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus
Yes.
was one of my touchstones. I just grew up watching Seinfeld, and Elaine was, I mean, yeah, I'd not seen anything like that in a sitcom in America before. I just thought she was like so groundbreaking, you know, and amongst these men, and just such a specific lived-in character, so physically funny, verbally brilliant.
Yes.
So her intelligence just shines
But
through.
then the
in that
horrible
performance.
dance that she had to do.
Horrible
and,
dance.
I mean, yes, again, she could do, just like Cleese, she could do both.
Yeah.
One of the things I loved for her, and for any fan of comedy, is when she did Veep,
Oh, yeah.
she opened up this whole other can of whoop ass
Yes, yeah.
comedically.
Yeah, she
So-
really did. It was a turn, wasn't it? It was a pivot.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, she could have moments of being a slight out of touch sociopath on Seinfeld, but then in Veep,
Yeah.
they wrote this incredibly mean, horrible stuff for her to say and do. And she's so funny doing it.
She's so funny. She's so
and
funny.
still,
And
still likable.
still were rooting
Yes,
for her.
I'm
You're
still rooting for her, even
Yeah.
though she's clearly the worst
She's
person
like
in the
the
world.
That's
worst
like working
person.
for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to edit that out. Oh wait, you
I'll
edit
handle
it
it. I'll handle it.
Did you guys ever work together over the years?
out. I did. I've done some bits with Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
I feel like everyone has crossed over at some point. So it's always, I love to hear those stories. You know,
know-
I'm such a geek about that. I'm like, tell me what happened.
And I have to ask you about someone who I got to meet through my show, who seemed very cool, and of course, tragically, we lost him way too young. But Heath Ledger, and I know that Heath Ledger, I think, was on my show and agreed to play a didgeridoo. So I remember I have a very distinct pleasure of talking to Heath, and then us bringing a didgeridoo out and him blowing into it, and it makes that sound that I'm sorry, I don't know that he was playing it correctly or incorrectly, but I just don't know what the didgeridoo. I don't know what the tuning is.
That's really surprises me.
Yeah.
I am shocked.
So
You didn't grow up doing that?
I know. I couldn't pick out exactly what Rush tune it was.
Yes.
But
I think I have a recollection of that now that I feel like that
Heath is an important part of your early life and getting started. Tell us about that.
I was 18 and I got cast in a film called Two Hands opposite Heath, and Heath was the lead. He with the same age, we were just kids. And the film, it did very well in Australia. It was Brian Brown, myself, and a cast of wonderful Australian actors. And Heath and I traveled to Sundance together. And the film didn't ultimately really translate here as well as we'd hoped, but it's become like a beloved classic in Australia. And he was integral in getting me agents and getting me to auditions. And he would always have a house full of Australian actors and friends. He was a very generous guy, also shy, actually. There was a kind of reserve about him, even though he was surrounded by people often. But he was really instrumental in those early years and very, as I say, a hugely generous spirit. So, but we were just kids. We were 18. He had done a show called Raw, and it was interesting. He always had such great creative instincts, and he was being offered so many kind of corny TV shows. He was a heartthrob, after it when he kind of hit, and he really had a specific goal of what he wanted to do and whose careers he loved, and I admired that. He had confidence inside.
I still think that his Joker, that performance had nothing to do with any performance he had done before, and it was so radical that I had seen. Yeah. And it's so easy when you have that heartthrob leading man status and you have that face to just disappear into that world of playing the same person over and over and over again. Yeah. And he came at that in this way. And in so many of his roles, it just felt like it was very important to him that this is an art. Yeah, he had a creativity about him and a goofiness. And that role in particular was so unexpected, right? The performance he gives, it's so, talk about a pivot. It was really, and it, stands the test of time, obviously. It's like, I remember going to see it in the cinema and the gentleman next to me had obviously seen it several times, and every time Heath came on, he would start to recite the lines with him. Oh, no. And I was like, wow, this guy has seen this movie. Matt, would you like to apologize? 25 times in the cinema.
I would like to apologize.
I thought you looked familiar. I wasn't going to say. I was like, were you at a movie theater on...
But you have to admit, I was pretty good.
Honestly.
He nailed almost every line.
Yes. But it was, that's a mark of a performance that is like, iconic, I guess.
So you have success, damages, you're getting work, you're sought after, things are going well, and then you do Bridesmaids. I remembered seeing it, and I thought all the performances were great. I thought that you were getting to play so many very subtle comedic moves. The speech where you're each trying to when you first came on screen, though, I remembered thinking, okay, this is the beautiful friend who's going to be kind of uptight, and you're just going to hit that note, and then you don't, and you're in many ways being just as competitive, petty, and insane as Kristen Wiig. And I was just like, oh, okay, Rose Byrne. And then I think that was everybody's reaction.
It's like those guys were so willing to I had auditioned for Get Him to the Greek and ended up doing that film. That's how I met Jard, who was producing Kristen's script that Paul Feig directed, Kristen and Annie Marmelo's script that Paul Feig directed. But those guys are really open-minded. They're like, I was on Damages. They're like, sure, come in. A lot of people would be like, why would you want to see this dramatic actress who's not got comedy chops to come in and work with these hardcore. All those girls are from Groundlings, UCB, really properly trained improv comedic actresses, all brilliant. As you say, what an ensemble of incredible actresses. One of my probably my favorite film to ever shoot. And Helen really is the straight man in many ways. She's just buttoned up but I remember early on when we were rehearsing and just trying to figure out exactly the inspiration for that character and how competitive she is, and her the need for status and how important that is, and what that kind of how people wear that entitlement, and it's very fun. And working with, oh my God, Kristen Wiig, Maya Rudolph, Melissa, Ellie, Wendy. It was just such a heavyweight cast of these women,
Yeah.
So
Did you
we were
find
lucky.
that because I think you've been, what's been remarkable about your career is, of course, there are people that do comedy and drama, but you excel at both of them. And I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
Really?
No, but I'm telling you. I mean, I watch you and I love.
I'm delighted. I'm gonna write it down. This is blank.
I love horror. And I love the Insidious films.
Yeah,
So it's
they're
like,
fun. Yeah,
but like
they're
I'm
fun.
watching you in that, and you can just. You're always able to really break my heart, and then I'll see you being hilariously funny with Seth Rogen, and I'm just a little mystified as to what that's all about. I think there's something very wrong with you that would show up on a CAT scan, frankly. There's a large line dividing your skull. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to reduce
That's
all your
definitely true.
all your talent.
Just
to a-
because she has range, you're
Yeah,
like, something's wrong
definitely
with
true.
you.
I just think she has a
Definitely true.
terrible brain problem. That's my
true.
take on her acting.
And he's right.
I think I'm
Is
right.
correct.
We need to get to this because this script comes along.
Mm.
This creative force named Mary Bronstein,
Our friend.
our friend, writes a movie, and how does the script come to you? What happens?
My agent sends me the script, and she's a very discerning Irish woman.
Ooh.
You best be reading me script.
What is wrong with
You best be reading my script. I'm sending it your way.
Pretty much.
I've
Pretty much
tied
like
it to a donkey.
that. Pretty much like that.
Pirate. She's
What's
a
that?
pirate agent.
I said she was a pirate. I heard pirate, not Irish. Arr.
Pretty much. It's weirdly exactly like that.
Why did my parrot
Amazing.
go caw caw? Parrots don't go caw caw.
You're an Irish pirate with a raven.
I couldn't get a parrot, so I had to get a raven.
Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. So anywho,
Look
You've
at
got
that.
a
There's
line
a real
down your head.
visceral cellular reaction to an Irish woman. I
I'm
feel
sorry.
it. I feel it.
They terrorized me
Straight up.
throughout my life.
From the
Irish women.
island, straight up. No, she's very discerning, and she's only written a few times over the years. And she said, "You need to read this," and I was like, okay. And it just but she, read like fire. It's like she lit the page. It's such an unbelievable script, and I want to hear your thoughts on it when you read it. And I devoured it. And there's an incredible symmetry to the script with the imagery. It's kind of the metaphors that are going on and what's happening in front of Linda, what's happening to her, and what's happening outside of her.
Mm-hmm.
There's a wonderful symmetry, and you really do see it, I think, in the finished product as well.
Yeah.
It's very much there. And I just thought, oh my God, what an opportunity. It's someone throwing you the ball, right? And you've got the bat and you're like, can I really? Oh my God. And it was extraordinary. And it's sort of genre-defying in a way. There's many genres. There's horror, tropes of horror in there. There's tropes of drama. There's
comedy in there too.
And there's comedy.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe it. And then I started to, I met with Mary and we started to work together, and I just thought, oh my, I cannot fuck this up. I was like,
So I have this
fuck
funny
this up.
experience, which is this script comes my way, and we talked about this with Mary on the podcast, but Adam Sandler calls me and
Oh, I didn't know that Sandler called you. Yeah. Right.
yeah, just to tell me he admired my work.
Yeah.
And then he
Oh,
and then he
right.
called me.
Copy that.
I'm just name dropping now. And then Brad Pitt texts me.
I know.
He wants to know where
You're
I got
gonna
my
win
Ford
that
Taurus.
game, by the way.
Yeah. And so anyway, all these famous people are always calling and texting. No, Adam called and he said, "Is it okay if I give one of the Safdie brothers your number?"
Yeah.
And it's for an A24 film. And I went, "I guess so." And he was like, "Oh, you think so, Coney?" Yeah, dummy, idiot. And so he went into some characters. So anyway, I read it and I remember thinking, at first I thought it's going to be, I never do them, but if someone like me gets offered a part, it's always to play myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
It's
yeah.
it's and then the characters turn on the TV and Conan O'Brien's there and he's saying, you all heard in the news the story about insert character's name here. And then they were like, no, you're playing a character. So I talked to Mary and tried very hard to talk her out of it. I just was like, well, this is a really great script and you don't want me in there. But she was adamant. And then
what was your reaction when you were like, oh, it's playing a therapist?
I mean, my first reaction was there's been a mistake.
Yeah.
You know, like why is someone, and I should talk to my therapist about that, but it was very surprising to me that she has this beautiful thing that she's written that's a real statement by her and and comes from her life, and I just, this is her big shot, and I'm in there, and I thought, okay, and I really didn't want to mess things up. So she was very
we felt the same way.
Well, yeah.
We felt the same way.
Only there's a difference. We
can't mess it up.
Here's a little difference. You're Rose Byrne, and I'm Conan O'Brien. So then I'm starting to feel better because she's given me all the reasons why I'd just be perfect for it. And she said, trust me, everyone is excited about you doing it and you're perfect for it. And I thought, well, they're professionals. They must know. And then Mary sets this meeting at the Whitby Hotel that I show up at, you show up at, and Mary shows up at, and you proceed to say, excuse me, Conan, what acting have you done? And I start saying, well, I haven't really had that. No, but I mean, what films have you done? And I went, I haven't done any films. And then you said, and I said, I've done sketches. And she said, but what about like dramatic roles, film? And I went, I haven't really done that. And then you start drilling down deeper and you went, but surely you did plays in high school. And I said, no, I didn't. And Mary, I didn't know you that well then. So I thought, Rose Byrne does not want me in this. And then I find out later that you're taking the piss out of me. Like you winked at Mary. And, but I left thinking, oh my God, like she's going to go to her Irish script reader and say, put down that bowl of taters and get Conan off this not fucking, but feckin' movie.
But I often feel like people have secret histories. You don't know. Like maybe you had a rich history of doing a play or at Harvard. You knew
I didn't do any.
But I don't know.
Now
honestly.
You're being the nice person.
No. I honestly, I was like, I think I remember going. But has anyone approached you before? Or has anyone asked you to do a dramatic role that didn't work out?
Right,
and so I was doing investigative because I feel like
it was like you were wearing a wire. And people were listening in a van.
Yeah.
And then all I remember is you slammed your plate down at one point and said, who do you think you are?
That's right. That did happen. That did happen.
And then you slapped me.
And then I hit you.
Yeah.
I hit you.
And then I hit me.
Yeah.
It was, no. And then we start the process of making this movie. And I will admit, I was saying that I worked really hard with Mary,
you did.
And there's no
for a year. You were attached forever.
Yeah,
long before, as was Rocky.
So you're making the point that you got it much quicker than I did. I see what you're doing. Look at this. This Rose is such a master at passive aggression. Are you seeing it? Yeah, a long time. I mean, much longer than me. And I'm really 99% of the film. But anyway, I had that experience of worked very hard with her, tried to prepare as much as I possibly could. And then before you know it, it's a very small room. All our scenes are in a tiny
room.
Tiny room. And I'm a large fellow. And we're in this tiny room. And
so quite hot? Or how was the temperature? I remember.
You think you were very excited to see me.
Of course.
That's what that happened. You kept saying, is it hot in here? And people were like, it's actually 33 degrees.
Was it stuffy? I just remember, was it?
Yes, it was. They had sealed all the windows for sound.
Yeah,
and it's just a regular office on the Upper East Side.
Yeah.
So it was...
and this is not offensive. This is we shot this fast. And it was not a big budget. It was...
Yeah.
just to set the scene. It's not like it's a.
I was told you got all the money, all of it.
Of course I did.
Yeah.
Got all the money.
And you came in the first day wearing a grill.
Yeah.
It said Rose Rocks.
Yep.
And I was like, that's a little over the top.
That's how I work.
I know, but
established my boundaries.
It was really off-putting. Every time you stood up, just money fell out of you. But we had these, I'll never forget, just sitting opposite you, and we're in that room, and then I hear action. Like the hallway's packed with people, action. And you and I have this scene to do.
Crazy.
And I think the first take, I was just trying to process, I'm in a movie. Why am I in a movie?
I know.
Why am I in a movie with Rose Byrne? This is insane. And then I kind of got it together, I think, for the second take and was able to just be in it. But I think on the first take, I was freaked out. You know, that's
great.
how it felt.
You were great. I looked at you and you were there. You were my scene partner and you were present, and I never felt not safe. And the scenes were very hard. They were challenging. There's a destructive relationship. It's at the end of this relationship with this therapist and their patient, and it is someone in a crisis, and they're not treating each other well.
Right.
It's like complicated.
Well, I was saying this to Mary Bronstein, the writer-director. I was telling her that one of the things that was a little difficult for me is I am extremely fond of you, and I'm also a caretaker. So in real life, if it started to rain, I would scramble to like have a tent built around you. It's that kind of thing.
It's
where, oh my God, we got
counterintuitive.
And my character is
totally
the exact
opposite.
180 degree opposite. Yeah. And we're in this tight space, and you are begging me,
screaming at you,
screaming at me for help, and I'm not doing the thing. Every cell in my body is saying, we must help Rose Byrne. And then I have to remind myself, this is not Rose Byrne right now.
Yeah.
This is my patient. But it was...
the scenes were challenging. I agree.
Yeah. But you, and I've told this to everybody, and you can see it in the film, I just was present for you, basically reaching in, turning yourself inside out in the scene. And then it's so insane to watch someone do that, especially in an enclosed space, not up on a proscenium in a theater, but just take their own heart out and crush it in front of you. And then I'd hear cut, and you would start laughing or giggling, or you'd say, I want a sandwich, and making jokes. And then Mary would come in and go, okay, let's do another one. You'd be like, all right. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean another one? No one can do that twice. And you do it like 19 times. You want me to pull my heart and my lungs out this time? I could try that for you. Or just one lung and two hearts. Huh. It was just weird to see.
Those
very
scenes were
impressed.
epic. They were like, I hadn't done that sort of scene before. With that sort of, where you're in a therapist's office like that, where it's really like in real life where you're having these sort of moments with your therapist. So it was wild. That was definitely those days were they were fun. There's a fun element of like, can we do this? And like, you're taking off together in this scene, like what's going to happen,
Yeah.
And then seeing, where it kind of goes.
I can't remember if this made it into the film or not, but there's one scene where I think you're lying. There's some scenes where you're in the chair, and there are some scenes where you're on the therapist's couch, but where you're going through all these emotions and at one point you're just trying different stuff, and it was so fun to watch you play. At one point, your feet went up in the air. I'm there.
I remember that.
And you're doing some sort of yoga feet up in the air thing.
Like obnoxious stretching in the chair.
Exactly.
So stupid.
Right
like
in my
she's
face.
so obnoxious.
You're trying to
she's
provoke,
like a child.
You're trying to provoke your therapist. And so you're doing like this weird yoga stretch where your feet go up into the air and your head,
so silly. I don't think it made it in.
No, I don't think so. But
I think it might have been a bridge too far. But,
I know, but I was
so silly.
I always try and look for the things I can relate to. And what you and I do is galaxies apart, but then I see flashes of, oh, I know what that is. That's you playing to find things and offering Mary all these choices. And I know that we do that in comedy.
Yeah, totally.
We do that in comedy.
Exactly. It's the same, absolutely, an offering. Like you're and she allowed us to do that. There was these, and her, especially in those scenes, it's always, I'm always looking for a little levity, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
And those scenes were heavy. So it's like, how can we sneak in something that is a little bit, that might be funny. I don't know.
So I have a
those
question, which
moments.
is your, something I find very endearing is your refusal to take yourself seriously in a profession where everybody takes themselves very seriously. Is that an Australian thing, or is that a Rose Byrne thing?
What do you think? Because you've probably had Australians in this chair before, so I don't know.
That's right. We had all of Akadaka here, which is the correct way to say ACDC.
Akadaka. This is true.
I did a show in Sydney once at some big theater downtown, and one of the best crowds ever. I mean, an Australian audience
They are such a good. I'm so glad you say that because it's such a long way to come. So when people do get there, they really do appreciate
people
it.
kept
They're
thanking me
crowd.
for coming, and I
Yeah,
said,
really?
I kept saying, you have a really good country.
I'm happy to be here.
But
Okay.
but no, the crowd was insane
Yeah.
and great.
Yeah.
But what I love is they just there's no formality. Like if I would call on someone instead of just answering my question from their seat, they'd come running up on stage and then would end up being scene partners and doing a bit. We just there's a lot of improvising and having fun and taking the piss in
a lot of
Australia,
that.
which is really
Absolutely. That's a
lovely.
cultural language for sure.
But
for
do you
sure, yeah.
think that's part of your anytime a compliment comes your way or people say, oh my God, and you're like, well, thank you. And then I see the deflection, which is...
I mean, I would say the same of you. You're a bit of a deflector, I would say. Is that an Irish thing? I mean, I am.
I think so,
I have
maybe.
Irish, ancestors.
Yeah.
But culturally,
How Irish are you? Are you...
I haven't, Byrne. So Byrne is like one of the most common names in Ireland. So when I went there, they said, welcome home.
Welcome home. Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
And my full name is Mary Rose, which is like literally a ship, from Ireland, So, but funny, when I went there, I felt melancholy. I don't know. I felt like the Irish kind of streak of pain, if I may say, share with you guys. I felt that. I felt the joy, but I also felt that. Did you feel like that when you're there?
I
Do you
had
have any reaction? I was like, I'm going to feel like the motherland, and I had that to an extent, and then I felt like the deep kind of history of,
Yeah,
stuff.
there's I had it because I'm 100%.
You
I'm
are,
like 110%. And
You're off the charts.
Yeah.
You're off the charts.
And so I went back for my travel show, and we through the work and the help of a great researcher, we went back to we found the plot of land that my paternal great grandfather worked as a tenant farmer and then left, and we have this all on camera. I'm there with a camera crew and we're shooting. She took me there and she's showing it to me, and I got very sad.
Yes,
and I'm not someone who lets myself I have a difficulty accessing that, and there was no hiding it there. I just really felt, this guy left because there was, and I said, oh my God, the view here, it's such a beautiful, you can see these mountains, they're so gorgeous, and oh my God. And I said, why did people leave? And the woman I was with said, because you can't eat the view. Like they didn't, they needed, this wasn't working and they had to go. And I thought, right, idiot.
That's intense.
That's
that's
it was really intense, but that's why they left.
Return to your roots.
Did they try to eat the view
They
before
did.
they left?
I looked at the mountains and there was one big chunk out of it.
Maybe they didn't need some
Attempt to-
seasoning.
Yeah.
But that's real. I get that.
Always good to bring levity into famine, I always say. I'm serious. I appreciate that. Yes. I needed an out and you gave it to me. That is part of it. But I think Australia is so fascinating to me because so many Irish went there or were sent there.
We were really sent, most of us were.
Yeah. Well, you were clearly sent.
I was clearly sent.
Yeah.
No, the jails were
shoplifted.
overflowing, and
Yes.
they got this crazy experiment where they were like, let's put all these people on a ship and ship
But-
them out there, and they can live out their sentence there, and then hang out with the people who put them in jail in the first place. Yeah. That's the short history, and also ruin all of the indigenous people culture. And, that
the
whole
reason
thing,
they don't
that
use
whole
you-
thing that happened.
There's a reason they don't use you in the tourism ads anymore.
I know.
Can we try another take, Rose?
I know, exactly.
Reno?
Yeah. Wait, let's not focus on that. Yeah.
And then you forgot one of the most important things, which is everyone from Ireland who got shipped over there has my skin coloring, and they're suddenly living at the equator, and they're running around shirtless in that sun, and
it is the weirdest story. It's a pretty crazy story. That
everyone is beet red there. Everybody.
Yeah, it's wild.
I was thinking, okay, that's the currency in my family where I come from, which is you make fun of yourself before anyone else can make fun of you.
I think so. No, I do. To your point, I think it's absolutely a cultural, a cultural fact. We don't take ourselves too seriously. There's a thing called tall poppy, never get too big for your boots. And, there's definitely an element of that culturally for Australians. And I guess I kind of embody that a little bit. But, humor's always been a big thing in our family, and I've always been firmly, made fun of. So and supported at the same time. But no, it's not. I find earnestness pretty hard to swallow.
Too. No,
to be honest, it's not my
That's
cup
why
of
I've surrounded
tea.
myself with the least earnest people in the world.
It's like, it's a funny thing.
What a good joke.
But I take the work seriously.
Yes.
I love the work, and I love the work, and that I would absolutely take seriously.
Well, I mean, it was clear to me that you're not screwing around in this role, and it's been a delight to see the reaction to your performance. Has just made me so happy because it's, and I hope you're able to take it in because I know you're very good at deflecting, like some other people I know. But you, universally, people have been saying, Rose Byrne, and Mary likes to use the phrase hiding in plain sight. You've been here, you've been doing incredible work, everyone loves you, and then you do this role and everyone is saying, Jesus Christ, this is, yes.
Oh,
it was just really nice.
Yeah. Oh, look, I feel very emotional about it. I'm emotional about the movie. I'm protective of it. Like, I think it's such an incredible piece of art. I think Mary's a force of nature. I think her story is so punk rock, how she's taken this tackled motherhood and being a caretaker and really in a radical way. Like, it's very unconventional and it's uncomfortable. And I love the film. So I'm still figuring it out, as we were chatting about earlier. Like, I'm still discovering it and seeing it through particularly a lot of friends who are now seeing it through other people's eyes and what they're discussing with me about it and what feelings they're responding with. And it's been, I'm so grateful, not to be corny, but to be a part of that. And I feel very so proud to be in this. And
there's something about, maybe you could tell me what it is, but it is a different movie, and there aren't a lot of movies like this.
Well, there's the tradition of sort of the woman falling apart. That is...
Yes, that's a tradition. But Mary pointed out to me, those are all written by men.
Yeah, totally. Through the lens,
and she was like, no, I'm going to write this.
And this movie is like refusing to ignore this woman. A lot of mothers feel invisible. They don't feel seen. They don't feel acknowledged. And this movie is like, no, you can't look away. This is a mother in a crisis with a child, and she will not be kind of ignored. Okay. Which is a response. A friend we were chatting with a friend, and she was like, I felt seen. And I was like, wow. And so, and then I have friends who don't have children who really understood other aspects of the movie and other things she's bringing up in people. So I think that's
my wife has not seen the movie yet
she's not seen it?
And I wanted her to see it. She's not a fan of my work.
What a shame. That's so hard. What a shame.
Has no aware I did television, really. Just doesn't like the podcast. But no, Liza hasn't seen it yet. And she wants to see it, and she was going to see it tonight when we go to this event.
She can't come?
She can't come because she has to be in Seattle. And so to see her lover, who, by the way, he's a great guy.
He's hot too. Yeah.
He drives
better be. I mean,
he's a ferry captain.
The weather's really bad there.
He's very tan.
He's the most tan guy. Because he takes her to Mexico all the time. I'm like, well, I'm closer. I could take her. And he's like, I got it.
They're actually going to see the movie together tonight.
They're going to come up to me afterwards. We thought it was great. Yeah, I loved it. God damn it. Why is your voice so low and resonant? But anyway, but I've been telling her because,
I really like her podcast.
Oh,
May I
yeah.
say, which you had introduced me to.
She is the brains of our outfit. And she said an interesting thing, which is, I was telling her that this movie, it's going to be tough for you. It's not going to be easy because it's very visceral about, what a woman goes through who's a mom and trying to handle it all when her husband's off doing talk shows. But I know she's going to love it, but also that it's going to push some buttons.
Did she read the script?
She did read the script,
she did,
and she said to me, I didn't know people wrote scripts like this anymore in the nicest way.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right. That's such a cool
So
comment. That's great.
I'm, I just think there's something too about, and I don't know how you felt about it, but Mary really wanted to get, the film is so you, up to the point where the camera is so close to you so much of the time.
Yeah.
And initially, did that freak you out at all? Or
Well, the first day, the camera got closer and closer and closer. It was like here, and I could hear it. It's film,
Yeah.
And I said to her, are you going to be that close? That's how close we're going to be? She was like,
Yeah.
And I was like,
You sent the dailies to your dermatologist.
yeah, exactly. And I was like, I'm going to
does this look okay to you?
Eye cream.
We'll just freeze it.
But I could hear it. I could hear it going. So it was cool. I mean, it's just technical, right? So just sort of adjusting for that and making sure we were always in dialogue. Like, did you get this? Did you get that? Should I try one like this? Try one like, even though we'd had this great rehearsal period, her and I, but that technical side of stuff, you don't know until you're there, right? And you've got to like figure it out and understand it and get my sea legs with working with the camera department. But I knew she was doing something. You know what I mean? I was like, she's pulling something off here. And the conceit of which is not really a spoiler, but the conceit of never seeing the daughter was also something she told me early on. And I was like, okay, right. So I knew she was crafting this language and this tension to tell this story in her, vision, her cinematic vision. And it wasn't until I saw it that I was like, oh, good Lord. Wow. My goodness me.
Yeah.
Nothing could have prepared me. Yeah.
You've done so much work in film, and yet this seems like a big evolution or step forward or change in some way, because it pretty much is, A$AP Rocky, myself, you guys have some people tossed in there, but we're playing the parts that we need to play, but this is you. And that was I think it's one of the most powerful things about the film is it is your journey. And I think I've heard you say that so often it's easy for a woman to be an appendage in a film, or you're the,
of course,
you're the co-equal or less.
Yes, yep. Which I've done many times. Oh my gosh, many times. But this is truly from the perspective of this character. Like, you have no other perspective really, and sometimes you don't know what's real and what's not. Like, when through the eyes of this woman who's just so disassociated. It's a real tightrope. The whole thing. It's like, and as a mother myself, like, just confronting all of these, it's very, people are not comfortable. There's a lot of shame around women who are disappointed with motherhood or have anger around motherhood or have, feelings that aren't
anything less than total fulfillment.
Total fulfillment.
Isn't it just the most joyous, totally fulfilling?
Yes,
and Andy Richter told me when his kids were really little, he said, you know what it is? It's high stakes boredom. And I said, what do you mean? Because this is before I had my kids. And he said, it's a 2.5-year-old and they're not doing anything and you're just staring at them.
Yeah.
But if you're not vigilant for a second, they will try to run in front of a car. And that's what it is.
That's the reality.
And so there's, of course, there are moments of resentment.
Yeah.
And it's the whole It's everything.
Yeah.
It's good feelings, bad feelings.
And at this point, she's not even a mother. She's a caretaker more,
Yeah.
So she's not even getting the joy of it and the extraordinary parts of it. And it's like this, she's just in this crisis of being a caretaker. So I felt that was, such a opportunity, It's just an opportunity. It's like you don't get these shots often. So I feel, I feel a bit too like I can't believe it came to me. I'm like a little bit like that too.
Now it got back to me. You've tried to cut me out of the film, and
just
you
the
said
first scenes.
You said
the last scene I thought was pretty good.
Pretty good. Smart. You requested. This is true, Rose.
Would have done that.
Yeah.
Rose suggested that maybe because she saw a rough cut and said,
"This is really rough."
We could get She said, "I've seen rough cuts, but this is." And she said, "What are we going to do about him?" And then she said, "Can you just put a CPR dummy in there and put an orange wig on it?" And they tried it.
I have a question for you. When did you first see the film?
I saw the film for the first time
at Sundance.
Yes,
Okay.
at Sundance.
And
We were
what
at
was-
Sundance together.
What was your experience of watching it?
I think a little disassociated.
Yeah.
I
Like
had,
you were out of it. a
I
bit when
watched.
you were-
No, I could watch. I really loved it, and I could watch you. I could watch everything. My scenes. I just think it's a weird. I can't really connect to it.
Yeah,
I can't. I can't watch that dispassionately.
Yeah.
And I know anyone who's been like you, an experienced, actor, can do that. I can't do that. And my whole experience is, I mean, I've seen myself. I've made thousands of hours of comedy.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy I didn't look at the lens at some point and give a little wink.
Here's a crazy hypothetical. I know there's a lot of awards buzz for you, Rose, but let's just say supporting actor. I know, hold on. Supporting actor nomination for Conan O'Brien. He wins, but he's also hosting the Oscars. What happens? The world implodes.
First of all, you've just ensured it won't happen.
That was my goal.
How superstitious are we?
Very superstitious. Yeah, I come from that island.
Me too.
That pirate island.
We're probably related.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I just looked in a mirror and then I looked at you and I'm like, okay.
I have cousins that look like you.
You have cousins that look like me? I have an uncle with no leg.
I do have cousins very similar. Very, very similar.
Say it. Handsome.
Totally.
Okay, there we go.
That's so sad.
I have a cousin that looks like you.
I do.
But then they fixed it.
No.
Listen, you can't help me. The damage is too deep, Rose. Too deep.
You're not getting my sympathy.
Yeah. I don't think we'll encounter that problem ever. And I think the important thing.
But you are hosting again, correct?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were so great. I
Thank
loved you. Loved last year's ceremony. It's wonderful. I couldn't think of the word. I was like,
I love how you
event,
become,
ceremony,
you become
whatever.
very poised.
I know, all of a sudden I'm the Queen of England, but I couldn't think of the word. I was like, what is it? An
It was
event?
really fun.
No, it's not an event.
One of
It's
the
a
things that I-
ceremony. It's a ceremony.
It's so Rose Byrne is to be so elegant and using just the correct tone, but then also so goofy at the same time, crossing your eyes, doing a bit, and then right back into, we're here with Dame Judi Dench.
That was like you had to thread such a crazy needle. It was such following such a tragedy here in California. Remember? And you had to. It was like
no, I don't
kind of
remember
an
me.
impossible. I know you probably
remember,
disassociate,
I
but it
don't
was
know.
like that's like a kind of an impossible task. So that's a tough gig. That is a tough gig.
Okay, now I don't want to do it again.
Yeah,
just
you
talked
do.
me out of it.
Yeah, you do.
Get the
Come
CPR
on.
dummy up
That's
there.
what. If it ain't tough, it ain't fun.
Yeah,
Come
now
on.
you're talking.
Come on, right?
This is hosted tonight by the CPR dummy. Leo DiCaprio comes out, gets chest compressions. Well, the movie, I mean, this is cool. We get to plug the movie. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You and I'm, so it's a weird thing to say, but I feel like as like an uncle figure, whatever, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of Mary. I'm just happy for both of you.
Thanks,
and,
buddy. Thanks for having us. And October 10th, you can go to the cinema to see it. And Thanks for your support, my therapist. My therapist.
You know what? My character
will forever be my therapist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I looked at there's a degree on the wall, which you can't see in the movie, but I walked up to it at one point, and where it says name, it just says therapist.
Did you give yourself a name in your character work?
No,
what?
I didn't.
It's not too late. The movie's not out.
Nigel G. Sopsip.
That's bad.
I think it's best if we take him out of the film.
That was a bad one.
Anyway, just a joy to work with you and to get to know you
too,
better.
pal.
And
You too.
I'll be seeing you around the circuit.
I see you on the circuit.
Wow.
Yep. Thanks for having me. Thank you for such a wonderful room of funny, lovely people here. Thank you.
Hey, Conan. Do you have any memories about your childhood days in show business?
Childhood days in show
Early
business.
days.
What am
He
I?
said early days.
What am I, Shirley Temple?
you just teed me
Well-
up to do that.
It was time to shoot on the good ship Lollipop. Puff, puff. I'm smoking a cigar. No, we were just talking earlier, and you guys said, "Hey, bring that up on the podcast." It's one of those early memories of young Conan out in the world. I think I was a writer on Saturday Night Live. This would have been sometime between 1988 and 1991. I think we were in a hiatus. I wasn't doing much. I was bumming around, and someone, because I did sketches on the show, occasionally I would appear in the background of some SNL sketches, and someone said, "Hey, Conan, they could use you over at," I don't know if it was the MTV Video Awards or VMAs or something. It was some early version of one of those types of shows, and it was shooting at the Armory in New York. I remember this, and they said, "Conan, they need someone, they need to get people to," and now I know what this is because I've done a bunch of award shows. They said at rehearsals, they need people to pretend to be the winners. So you sit in the audience and they say, and the winner is Phil Collins, and then a black woman stands up and she walks up on the stage and she says, "I want to thank the other members of Genesis." And she basically, just so they can get the lighting right and the blocking right, because you're certainly not going to get that person there. They never read the real winner because that can never be revealed before the show. So they always say at the beginning of rehearsal, "This is for rehearsal purposes only. The winner is Phil Collins," or whatever. So I was just thought, like, this is interesting. I'll do this. And I think I got like $50 or whatever I got. So I went over, and I think about this now because I've, when I do award shows now, I'm there when I see the people who are doing that same thing that I used to do.
Did you ever think you'd be up there hosting the Oscars, and here you are, just a seat filler, fake award winner?
Yes,
Wow.
I did. I knew.
You knew.
I just knew.
Okay.
I said it's going to be probably around 2025.
Okay.
Global warming is going to be a real problem. People don't think so. Ozone layer would have been fixed. I just knew the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, no, I would have had no idea. But I was there and I was doing that, and I don't know what I had to. I think I had to be someone in Oingo Boingo once, or it was just these crazy. These
That's
references are so
cool.
funny, And I was like, well, on behalf of Boingo, I just want to say, I was joking around a lot, and they probably told me to shut up. But what I remember very clearly is someone who was there in person was Tina Turner was hanging out at the rehearsal.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I'm sitting there just wearing my little lanyard that says backstage goofball. And Robert Palmer was there. Simply irresistible. Yeah. He was there. The two of them were there. I think they probably had a sound check, but they were just hanging out. And I remember they announced the category. And again, they said, okay, the winner for best song of 1988 is, and they opened the envelope and someone said Tina Turner. And this person got up, I think a 62-year-old, very pale man stood up with crutches and went up on stage and said, "Oh, I'm just really excited that I'm here to win this award." And Tina Turner was there, and she got really excited because she thought this means that she's going to win that night.
Oh,
and I saw her manager have to go up to her and say, no, this is just for rehearsal. And I remembered seeing a huge icon of rock, dreams get crushed in that moment. I saw that happen. It wasn't that bad. I think she probably ended up winning anyway. But it was one of those things where I had a lot of experiences like that where,
Fun.
yeah,
Showbiz.
it was showbiz, and I was just this young.
Your childhood showbiz.
Yeah, it wasn't childhood. I would have been in my 20s at that point, mid 20s,
Okay.
and but it was an exciting moment for me back then, and now all these years later, I still treasure it.
Yeah.
Was that sincere?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
No.
Okay.
It's just one of those things that,
So the year was 1986, according to.
Oh,
what
it was
I
86.
found.
Okay,
Yes.
so guess what?
Hey!
I wasn't on SNL yet. It was pre-SNL. 1986.
Not
And what was
necessarily
it?
the news?
The VMAs.
It was the VMAs.
Yeah,
Was it
MTV.
at the Armory?
It was in New York, not at the Armory. Though.
What was the Tina Turner song? We don't need another
I think probably going to be. No, I bet it
hero.
was going to be. What's love got to do? Got
Is that
to do with it?
86?
What's love? A second-hand emotion.
Guys.
Typical male.
What's that?
What?
Typical male. You got a typical male.
Is that what?
It's so much better than an atypical male.
Video was
To
What's
the
that?
mailbox.
Nope.
We don't need another hero.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, well, anyway, I was there, and what would Robert Palmer have been there for? Was that simply irresistible?
Yes.
Probably-
Robert Palmer was there, and he presented a Video Vanguard Award to Madonna.
Okay.
Get
I didn't see
out.
Madonna at rehearsal.
Because
That's
you didn't
cool.
get to go to the show?
And
No,
his,
of course
his video
not.
was Addicted to Love.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's so
Wow.
fine. She no
Telling
telling where the money went.
We can't afford it. We can't afford it. You guys have to stop.
We don't have to pay this. Do we have
Yeah.
to?
No, we do.
I don't think we have to pay
No,
if we
you
sing a
don't
song,
need-
do we?
yeah.
I think we're singing
No,
it
Oh,
so...
Adam,
let's
we're-
get that from Adam.
They
Adam,
have
do we
to.
have to pay if we sing a song?
Yes.
I don't know.
Let me ask you this.
Don't know.
Let me ask you this.
It's murky.
The versions
around-
we're singing are so
Yes.
so far from the original
Yeah.
that they can't be,
Yeah.
Works for me.
Okay.
No, I think
Great.
you can't.
And she's a climbing a stairway to heaven.
Oh boy.
No, but listen.
You can't do it.
Yes, you can because I just sang it incorrectly.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
legally
I
you
said-
can, but
I said stairway.
I know, but you shouldn't. You're just ruining things, I think.
Look, we're going to get some clarity on this.
Okay.
Because I think we should be able to sing these things. People know me as a crooner, and I'm
Excuse
a
me?
jukebox. Shh, quiet. They know me. I'm America's jukebox. I've got these golden pipes.
No.
They call me the Velvet Smog, and I think that we should be able to sing songs.
Well, we should look into this, and I would say stay tuned
Yeah.
to a future
Stay
episode.
To a future
tuned.
episode. I
Yeah.
don't know what we're
Don't
doing.
make it. Oh.
Oh boy.